We need that.
That's cool.
Carry on.
Yeah. So
I'll buy an extra seat just for him.
yeah, that'd be great. So, wow. Okay. So when I went to Guatemala, they built one of these bridges so the nuns wouldn't be seen going from the monastery to the. So I'm guessing this would be the monastery.
Yeah.
Or the nunnery.
The nunnery, whatever.
Yeah, whatever they call it. I've seen one of these before. Only one. They don't have them in Texas.
Probably not. They gotta have
that is amazing.
Yeah,
but they just walk out in public.
But
yeah, we're good.
They don't even have to wear their habits all the time.
Yeah, what does that say?
Pastoral library.
There you go.
Saints.
Yeah. Can we?
My vague Spanish that I took years ago. I'm much better at deciphering written Spanish.
Yes. I'm good if they speak slowly. But most of my parents speak very quickly. They're like, I'm like, oh, no, slow down. I had. That's it. Wow, look at that. Oh, we got to go. Yeah, we need the sweepers. The sweepers. Yeah, don't fall behind the sweepers. Yeah, it's raining.
Oh, $2 bills, right?
Well, I mean, they love all America. They would almost have it anywhere you go. Oh, I didn't know that. That's
We should probably go
this way. Yeah. Isabella. Hang on. Okay. Car.
Your bike's off the street.
Okay.
They use the same electric bulbs. So those two things were super convenient. Yep.
Wow. Oh. Okay. Play some music on the organ there. That is amazing.
dosis antes de las abrigas. Please, those at the rear. Do you smell incense? That is why the cathedral was opened just a few minutes ago. Because they were celebrating services the whole morning. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. And that is when they, after service, the high mass anyways. What? Yes, we are in a church. That is a cathedral. Do you remember or do you know what a cathedral really is? Somebody says, you know, that's the perfect definition. You see, always women answer. That's correct. The seat of the bishop, the church of the bishop. Why that name, cathedral, for the bishop's church? Because the name of the church where the bishop sits is cathedra. When you put the L at the end, you say cathedral, means the place where the cathedra is, the place where the seat of the bishop is. All right? Well, let's talk about this one. First of all, name, very simple. Cathedral of Toledo. Took me only 5 years memorizing it. It's true. When I was 5, I knew it. I didn't tell you which 5. Why is the name so simple? Because we only have one bishop. One bishop only needs one cathedral. Imagine you are living here. For any reason, you say to the friends, I'm going to the cathedral. Your friends know where are you coming. However, the problem comes when you say to the friends, I'm going to the church. Which one? That's at the historical site where we are, at the historical site of Toledo. There are another 79 churches. What's the population? Here at the historical site, 10,000. Churches, 80. We are big sinners. Actually, it's the first time in your lives you hear the expression Holy Toledo. Now you know why. Well, how old is this building? The cathedral was begun in 1226.
1226.
Beginning of the works. We know the month October, but not the day. Everything that is recorded says that was one day in October 1226. The king Ferdinand III was the one who put the first stone. And we know that was finished in January 1493.
Yeah.
267 years were necessary to build it. Why did it take so long?
Well,
These were the machinery, were the machines and the computers. So that is why it took so long. Imagine the time necessary to bring material. For example, in this building there are 750 stained glass windows. That stained glass was made in Belgium. Well, today we call it Belgium. It used to be Flemish country, the area of Genk, where this stained glass was brought. So imagine the time necessary for somebody to travel from central Spain to northern Europe. Today is like a couple of hours on the plane. Those old times. Then once there, meet somebody who make them, and then ship them here. To give an idea, the difference between the oldest and the newest window is 98 years.
oh my gosh.
Just talking about windows. Well, do you recognize the architectural style of the building? Gothic.
Yeah.
Gothic. You know, there are 3 main elements to recognize the Gothic buildings. Not only in Toledo, I'm talking about the whole Europe. Remember, wherever you come back with your groups, you go to a palace or to a castle, you see a bridge, you are in a church. 3. 1, pointed arches. You can see them all around. Pointed arches. Second one, above us, the ribbed vaults. You know, the name ribbed is because the name of these crossing lines you see is ribs.
Okay.
Actually, I recently read in a book, somebody called them the bones of the building, and then the walls, the skin of this building. So we have ribbed walls, we have point arches, and then the third one is to see outside, the flying buttresses.
Yeah.
All right, wherever you see one of these 3 elements, you can see that it's Gothic. And remember that Gothic was over at the end of the 1400s. You know, in Spain, we said that the end of the Gothic was the arrival of Columbus to the Americas, 1492. So that was it. So if you see something like this, be sure that was built prior to the end of the 1400s. Well, 100% of European Gothic-style cathedrals and churches as well, they all were built in the shape of the cross. We are in central nave. Behind this wall, that is the choir room, is the transept. Central nave transept, you see the cross shape? And remember that the head of the cross was always built facing east, towards Jerusalem, cradle of Christianity. Well, this is one of the world's largest cathedrals. How large is a normal house in America? About from 2,000 to 3,000 square feet, something like this. Over 70,000. It's bigger than my home only for 2 zeros. Anyway, what I really try to tell you is that when a building is so big, there is not time to see everything. So let me show you highlights. One of the highlights is that window. It's the biggest of the 750. That's the largest one. You have no idea how many people live in Madrid in apartments smaller than that window. Oh yeah. From the distance, we don't appreciate. I've been very close to that window from outside, and I tell you, it's huge. Well, can you please tell me, what do you see at 7 o'clock in the windows? Purple, yellow, and blue colors. You see the Star of David? What a surprise. We are in a Catholic building, and prior to see a cross, the first religious emblem we see is the Jewish star. You are in a place, Toledo, that is known as the city of the three cultures, the city of the three religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Let me always go in chronological order. If you don't like it, have another 3, no problems. Anyway, they spent over 700 years here coexisting. So that is why wherever we go in this town, we always find a mixture of these 3 faiths. We're going to see more examples. And you see, that's the main door. Why is it closed? Because it opens only for the number ones of the countries. You have to be the head of your country. We don't care if it's president or king or queen or, you know, number 1 in the country. So you have elections very soon. Be elected. We can open the door for you. Oh yeah, why not? The first Americans were the Nixons, 1971. And the last one, 1996, was Hillary Clinton, when she was the first lady. However, if she returns today, so it's for Biden. Okay. It's what you are. That's the condition, to have that privilege. And what about the Pope? What do you think? Is the Pope, I mean, the Pope has permission to come through that door or not?
No.
Truly, but why?
Because he's the top dog of the church.
No.
Or the Catholic.
He's the head of a country. He's the head of the Vatican. The Vatican is a country. That is why.
Oh, okay.
And only in case of monarchies, not republics, but in the monarchies, we also open the door for the future king or queen, you know, the crown prince. I tell you, in 1988, I saw coming in through that door the one that today is the King of England, when he was the Prince of Wales, Charles, with his first wife, Lady Diana. I think that we were like 1 million people in the square trying to see her. I'm very short, I was jumping, I saw her. I've seen the blonde hair of Diana. Well, I saw it twice because I was also in London the day they married. And was exactly the same from the carriage in the distance. Oh, look, it's blonde. All right, let's take a look of the main altar. To go there, first we have to go north and then east. Vamos. First north.
Okay, well that's east.
Wait, you see, without Google Maps. I told you it's facing east. Yes. North and east.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. It just gets better.
So remember, please, as soon as we stop, I need human heat. Oh, this morning I was freezing. And I was guiding mainly Australians and New Zealanders. What is summer?
Yeah.
They were like, oh my goodness. Why don't you get upstairs, put the camera through the bar and take a picture without bars? Otherwise, your family is not going to believe you. Have you really been in Spain? No, you've been in jail. All right. Can you see now the cross-shape? Ceiling? Remember, this is central nave, and this other one is the transept. All right? And always in the Gothic churches, the main altar, most important place of the building, appears on the head. Well, look at the altar piece. That huge, colorful altar piece is considered by art experts as the #1 in this country. The best one. Please don't tell me, Carlos, why do you say that's best? I don't like it. Carlos answers, I don't care. Because I'm talking about quality, not beauty. That altar piece was made by a group of artists, 27, most of them French. And these 27 people spent 7 years just to finish it in 1504. They only used one material. Can you guess what that wall entirely made of?
Gold.
Gold. We.
Yeah.
It's something much cheaper than gold.
Ceramic.
Just wood.
Good.
6 different kind of trees, mainly pine trees. But then, you know, a woman is never completely incorrect. So, gold leaf was necessary to give that effect, to gild the wood. Remember, they have to mix the gold leaf with kind of glue, plaster. You put it on. When it dries out, it's when it's time to polish. When you feel it, the leaf is very soft. You do it again and again and again and again. It's by layers until you get the effect of gold. So there is some gold, but not so much. Anyway, do you recognize what was represented on the different panels, the different things of the altar piece? For example, can you see the nativity?
It's the life of Christ.
Exactly, it's the whole life of Christ. You see the nativity is right in the center. You see the baby? You look all around, especially those of you are Christians, recognize everything much easier. For example, look at the bottom left. Something we are going to commemorate in a couple of weeks. The second scene at the bottom left, from left to right. Do you see 13 people having dinner?
Yeah.
That's supper. And at the very, very top, that crucifixion is death. So, especially for you teachers, these were the books in the 1500s. How many people you think could read at that time? You didn't.
Very few.
That is why we couldn't read. So that is why the church needed things to walk. Tell us stories. Don't you say in English that a picture is worth
1,000 words.
great moment to say it, isn't it? Well, you know, everywhere you look at, whatever you see, they say, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, please forget, in this kind of buildings, forget the idea of decoration. That concept, I'm going to decorate, didn't exist. Everything had a main reason, education. Just Christianity, but it was the only subject. Christianity, education. Well, do they still use this main altar for services? Of course they do. Every Sunday the bishop comes. This earlier, it was here at noon. You see, I mean, do you see the cathedral? You see the top, the brown chair, behind the main altar, behind the altar table. That's the cathedral that gives name to the building. Where this lady in red is standing, this is the door. Swings back, and people go in or outside. You choose. We don't sit on the floor. You see the brown pews over there? A couple of hours ago we're here. But thank God, as soon as the Mass is over, it's when they take them away to give us a chance to walk around. And today they let everybody go in. They even let me go in, so it means everybody. But in the old times, that's the reason of the gate. The old times, remember, there were only two classes, okay? The medieval society, no middle class. The rich and the poor. Rich, inside. The rest, outside. So can you see the date of this gate? It's a description. The bottom right of description tell us the month, April, and then tell us the year.
1546. 48.
The date of
Oh my God.
this gate. Well, before leaving this area, please look at the south door. At the top of the south door, there is a door, an organ. You see it?
Yes.
That organ is the oldest in the building. This organ was a present, was donated by the King Carlos I. Somebody named after me. So, King Carlos died in 1558. If he donated, he was alive. So had to do it prior to 1558.
Right.
So do you understand that this organ is almost 500 years old and still today plays?
Be amazing.
They don't play it very often. Only on the very special days of the year. Christmas, Easter, Corpus Christi, my birthday, the very special days. Then for the rest of the holidays, Sundays, and of course your birthdays, we have another 9 pipe organs in the building. If you look into the choir room,
there's 2.
you can see another 2, one on each side.
That's amazing.
See them? So when you have 10 organs in a church, music is not a problem. The problem is to find 10 people able to go upstairs and play them. But that's different stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. There is a tomb. Yeah, there's like a casket there.
Yeah.
Right there is buried somebody very important. He was the cardinal. He was known at the time he was alive, end of the 1400s. He was known as the Third King. They were the Catholic monarchs, Isabel Ferdinand. He was like the prime minister of the kingdom. At the same time, he was the head of the church, founder of the Spanish Inquisition. He was so powerful, his idea was to be buried here, the very center. But the Queen, Isabel, told him, if somebody gets buried there, it's me. So she left to the south, to Granada, for the last battles that took place there in Granada. And as long as she was in the south, the cardinal, his name was Mendoza, commissioned to destroy the original Gothic wall that was here. We suppose, we have no pictures in the 1500s, no photographs. We suppose that was exactly the other one.
Oh.
And they built a new one for his tomb. As you can see, this is the only one that doesn't look Gothic. This is Renaissance. Look at the arches. Rounded, not pointed. Okay. Today is very popular name in Spain because it's the name of the best brandy we make in Spain. Cardinal Mendoza brandy. Bueno, let's go. Let me show you the back. So let's go again north and east. Wow.
Is that your stuff in there?
Exactly, depending. This is for the let me see. The sermon goes. No, the sermon is here on the right. Yes, the sermon, and the other one is when they read the Bible in the back.
Yeah.
Reading the Gospel.
That's a little different. Yeah.
That's what I want to show you.
Wow.
You see everything is a reason. Sometimes I feel like a movie star, you see? Until I understand that I'm very little to the people. Well, look at that window, that big hole. Tell me, have you ever seen a window like this one before?
Nope.
Quite difficult because it's the only one. Yes, that was made at the very end of the early 1700s, exactly 1732. Why was it made? Because at the end of the 1600s, early 1700s, the problem of this back part of the building was the darkness. You see now, it's a little bit cloudy, look how dark. So imagine prior to the wind and without the electricity. So that is why they thought, we have to bring light. So that is why they made that big hole facing east where the sun, you know, here in Spain, it's like in America. Most of the services are celebrated in the mornings, not in the afternoons when the sun is in the west. Well, the work was made by 3 brothers. The older brother was the painter. You see the fresco paintings? Second brother, the architect. So he was the designer of the work. Finally, third brother, the younger brother, was a sculptor. What a family. Can you imagine the mother walking on the streets of Toledo like, oh yeah, my children. She was the best artist in the family, of course. Thomas was the family name. And you know, these Thomas brothers spent 11 years, 1721 to 1732. By the way, 1732 was also the year when George Washington was born. So perhaps now you can understand much better the historical moment we are talking about. When your country was getting ready to start with the birth of Washington, we were renovating this building. And why does it look so different from the rest? Because in the 1700s, Gothic was completely over.
Yep.
I told you, it was the end of the 1400s, the end of the Gothic. Then was the Renaissance, like this wall. But the Renaissance was also over. And the Baroque. This is the end of the Baroque. Actually, the French call it the Rococo. Remember the age of the 3 Musketeers? That's the period of time. Everything so ornated, so decorated. Well, these 3 brothers also made an altarpiece. Let's take a look. Set on my right is the best point to see this wall. Everything is this.
Wow. Okay, wait. Look at that.
All right. Look, this is the altarpiece of the window. Okay, this wall was made by the 3 brothers for the reason that I told you. That was to bring lighting. So what do we see right in the very center of the wall? The sun. Do you see the sun made out of bronze? The sun is light. Who is light?
Jesus.
You pass the test. You see how easy, that's only 5 seconds we've done a lesson. Jesus is light. We've been reading a book that has no words, but you understand it. It has been an example of how people could teach Christianity multiple times. What do we see surrounding the sun? Angels, archangels, seraphims, cherubs, they all made out with the same material, marble. But is this kind of a regular marble?
Oh, probably not.
No, this is simply the best marble in the world. Means from Carrara in Italy. Remember Michelangelo? Michelangelo was born like less than an hour distance from Carrara. So that is why he spent most of his career working with this material. The David, the Moses, the Pietà, you know, his masterpieces were all made with the same material. Well, let me show you a small detail. Look at the very center of the sun. Looks like a rose.
Rose.
Now from the rose, please look down to 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, for those of you with the digital watches, is bottom right. How far? About 5 feet. Center of the sun, 5 feet, bottom right. Do you see a couple of cherubs that are like kissing? That represents love.
Yeah.
But on the other side, another man says, oh, this is the same please kiss me. You see the answer at 7 o'clock?
Hey.
He says, not today.
No.
It's terrible today. Like somebody told me recently, before and after marriage. Well, anyway, look how easy it was to represent feelings, emotions, without words. And the former tradition in this cathedral was to bury the cardinal who commissioned the work as close as possible to it. So that is why we see here on the floor there is a plaque with an inscription in the tomb where the cardinal who made the donation was buried. Right here, some of us are stepping on another cardinal's tomb. No worries. Since 1884, if he complains, I run away. Anyway, do you know how to recognize where cardinals are buried? I don't say bishop, I say cardinal. Cardinal is higher than a bishop. Here in the Catholic Church, the ranking goes more or less like this. Deacon, priest, Monsignor, bishop, archbishop, cardinal, the Pope, my wife, God. But sometimes at the top, I'm not sure. Okay? These two were cardinals. How can we know that?
It's red.
Something red, you are right, but look.
It's in the center.
Do you see like a jellyfish? These were their hats. Do you see much easier because it's much lower from the bars? You see the cardinal's hat there?
Yeah.
So this is, I don't say was, I say is a world Catholic tradition to put the hats of the cardinals hanging above the graves, including in your country. I tell you, for example, in St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City, I remember I saw 5. Whereas in Chicago, the Holy Name Cathedral, I saw 6. So not only stupid Spaniards, all right? So worldwide. But there are not so many cardinals. There are bishops, but not cardinals. Cardinals, there are only like 115 right now all over the world. Most of them, I mean more than half, are in Rome. So that is why you don't find so many. Well, we have to speed up because this war is about to collapse. When I was here yesterday with another people, yesterday was a Canadian high school. I tell you, these 2 cherubs upon the table, both were like this.
Oh, okay.
Do you see them now? They're getting tired,
Yeah.
so vámonos.
Yeah.
There's a second here. Well, remember that we have seen the Star of David in the rose window, the Star of David.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please tell me what do you see here on the floor everywhere? You see the Star of David? How many? So it represents Judaism. Second faith, always, as I told you, in chronological order. You have to turn the light off to avoid problems with the security. You can say hello to the security. You see the camera? So, second faith, look. Christianity. You see the cross here between the speakers and the column? You see the cross in Christianity. What about Islam? We have to look at the triforium. What? Triforium is the technical name of that upper gallery. Look, above the pointed arches, there is a gallery that goes all around this area through the arcs. Do you see them? Look at the shape of the arches. You see, these are the multifoil arches. In this case, it's 5. Just for to be 5? No. How many commandments? Or they don't call them commandments. How many pillars are in the Islam? 5. So look at that. We don't have to move the body. We only turn the head. And we can see how the 3 religions were coexisting in perfect harmony. If it was possible here 500 years ago, why not today? Money, money, money. Moms.
Wow.
Well, be sure. Now, before exiting, please be sure that you look at this picture here, this fresco, because the local tradition says that the day that you see this painting, you don't die.
Oh, good.
Look at me, I'm 132, still alive. I come here every day. Well, it represents Christopher. We used to call him Saint Christopher, not anymore. He was demoted. Oh yeah, it was discovered that he never existed. Do you know what do we mean when we say Saint Peter, Saint Mary, Saint Catherine, Saint Joseph? It means that this person is in heaven. As far as I know, legends don't go to heaven. And that was a legend. Well, you don't say legend anymore. You say fake news. The 1300s. Yes. Can you please tell me in which part of the Bible mentions anything about a giant helping Jesus Christ to cross a river? You see the fish here at the bottom? That's fantasy. That is why he was demoted. You have to change the name of one of your cities in California. Today must be only Barbara. Not Santa Barbara. She was demoted as well. Another fake news. Well, still in my car there is a magnet. I'm not superstitious, but just in case. November the 20th, something like this is in Martin's Day. So that day there is a special service, exactly, but only on that day. And now, listen, here at the exit, there is a bunch of magazines of the cathedral. Everything is about the 800th anniversary. It's coming soon. You know, remember, it was begun 1226, so 2026 is the 800th anniversary of the construction. I see tons of these magazines, all bilingual, English and Spanish, with excellent photographs and great history of the building. So if you want to take one, you know, for the first time that the church gives you something for free.
There you go.
Oh, because since a month ago we have, you see, the white big ones there? Yes. They are all around. We have a night show here. It's called Lumina.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You have to go moving around. I mean, somebody controls, and it's like they use the walls as screens.
Oh my
and
goodness.
tell you the story of the building. It's beautiful. Yeah. The only problem is that if you spend 1 hour,
Yeah.
when you get out, you go like,
Wow.
do you really see the cross shape?
No.
See with the drone picture, you really see it. You have more over down there if you want. Well,
I accidentally grabbed two.
Oh, thanks.
and now it's sunny again. We came in. what,
Yes.
very evening?
So deep. All right. Uh-oh. Car.
So when I was there,